I sincerely hope you have some good news for me. My gods, I can't believe this.
Ilia's wings uplift us.
She's been with the Rangers since she was a girl. She trained most of my men.
This is... Fotito. This is big, Asierno.
What happened to her? Where is she now? Without the trial? Good gods.
Frontier justice. That's what a traitor deserves.
Masoni, please. Where's her body now, Envoy?
I'll send a few of the senior rangers out to find her.
Thank you, Masso. What a nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to tell my men. A traitor in the Rangers. This situation beggars belief. Do you know why she did it?
Mic check, check. Mic check, check. Hello? Let me turn my microphone up a little bit. There we go, that might be better. Alright, how does that sound? Cool. Let's see. Mic check, mic check, check.
Be serious, Envoy.
She was always talking about how we needed strength. Do you remember, Masso? More swords, more coin. And she complained that animancy wouldn't fix our problems. But I didn't think she had so little faith in Fior.
No one took her seriously.
Evidently, she was quite serious about it. I didn't want to believe it could be her. Gods beyond, what a mess. Thank you, Envoy. Ranger Monato has been properly avenged, and now I have a lot of work to do to rebuild my squad. Here's your reward. It's the least we can do for your assistance. Thank you again. Step carefully out there. We are living through strange times.
I hope this at least lets them clean up their ranks.
Marius, I've been wondering about something.
What's that?
How do we keep finding Zarops on every continent? They don't strike me as this... seafaring type.
Oh, that's simple. Zarb's probably stowaway. On merchant ships or ride on the back of dragons or something like that.
What if Aora was...
Oh, hey there. Something on your mind? It just took me back. Something about her reminded me of old times. War stories. And I've seen shades of that before. The meek trooper who develops a taste for killing. Now, the part that stuck with me was what she said about watching her partner turn. Seeing someone you know, someone close to you, beyond help like that. I just want to know, why did you brush her off? Instead of telling her about Adelaro, I mean. I don't know that it was, but I can't fault your intentions. Sorry. I need a moment to clear my head.
Kai, you've killed people before.
Good evening to you, too. And, yeah.
Have you ever been haunted by one of them?
Well, the first has always stayed with me. This was in Deadfire. We were boarded by valiant privateers in the dead of night. One moment, I'm asleep, and the next, I'm staring down the barrel of a pistol. It misfired, and I ran him through before he could try again. But I'll never forget the look in his eyes as the light faded out of them. Is that what you wanted to know?
Oh dear, not exactly. When I said haunted, I meant, have you ever seen a ghost before?
Once, at sea, I heard moaning coming from the ship's lazarette. Never went down there again.
Noted, thank you. Do you need to talk about, you know, the dead privateer? Because I have time.
I think I just need a drink.
I'm starving. Serves me right for not packing enough snacks.
I've got some cheese. Want to share?
You have cheese. When you were in the Navy, did you ever get shipwrecked?
Once. The seas were choppy, and we scraped the edge of a reef. Pretty far from any of our bases, unfortunately.
And when the rations ran out, did you
Did I what?
eat any of your crewmen?
No, we went fishing and harvested fire kelp. Why?
Cannibalism is supposed to be good for the soul. According to research, anyway.
What research?
I've also heard that sailors have appetites that can't be sated on land.
Sometimes it's just about survival. You make different decisions when your life is on the line.
You people read too many adventure stories. Doesn't the thought make you queasy?
On the bright side, if we're ever short on supplies, it's useful to know who gets eaten first.
Just remind me never to get on a ship with any of you.
Tell me, where did you learn to hunt?
Early on, I learned from a warden named Ilinka. After that, I learned a lot from just going out and surviving on my own.
I'll bet you're a natural. You make it look effortless.
Worth and Roth! Worth and Roth!
saying a word.
And rock! Lieutenant!
Better on our feet than in the ground.
Worth and rock!
Never a dull moment.
In charge.
This one's mine.
Then rock!
Couldn't have done it better. Come on! Come on! Quick as a fox!
Then rock!
Behind you! Gather round!
Stillness Mito. Luten!
On your right! Hey! We're here!
I'll fix this.
Then rock!
That's done? Who's hungry?
They're having it. Ready to make an entry.
How did they even get... Looks like quite a party. Let's break it up.
Silmes mito. Ulufen.
Nicely done! Undivided attention.
Seal mes metal. And rock. Defend.
If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar.
And rock.
Come, hear us through the Adra. Find us.
Eckworth and rock.
We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts, we welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We felt the thrill of their wonder. We basked in their desire to know us. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. We do not remember how we grew. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sabadal. Our spark found you when you dreamed in the womb. Godlike, they said. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reached back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. Rod, we feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us. Free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Would that we knew. Our jailers gave us no explanation. But perhaps the ancients who were beloved to us, perhaps they can quiet the questions in your mind. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akita, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. It's a good thing we got results, because I have no desire to put you through that again. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it. Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but You were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? I'm sorry? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible! How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Perhaps the bars of their prison would be forged of essence, not iron. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. Now that is a tall order. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it. A little divine intervention couldn't hurt. The real question is, where do I start?
I need to find the halls of the Teberu Sanaki.
Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. Gods, I don't know. The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy. The end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel. We were sure they came. Was it the past?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on, there's a way up those stairs.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here, it changes everything.
A hidden god in the living lands. Who knew?
All right, let's return to Fior Mesiverno. I need to go over my notes. Oh my god, no!
Andras Debs. This was no accident.
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. We won't learn anything standing here. I just hope Quilici is all right.
Something's burning. Doesn't look like the city, but let's make sure no one's hurt.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Mesiverno looks undamaged. Surprising when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
We'll fight them with you, Giada.
They break, they bind us.
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Again and again they strike.
We've tarried long enough. I thought you did quite well. Who's envoy? We captured a prisoner.
There's the city. Thank goodness. It's good to see home again.
Envoy, over here. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stair bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. Good point. I'll just bring the masked warlord who answers to no one in for questioning. That isn't going to happen. We caught this one alive, so any justice we mete out will be on his head. What we know is this. The Steel Garrote marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. Few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrote wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen. I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. I'm not looking forward to cleaning up the mess. So you can help me by telling us what we want to know.
Your threats are wasted, Kerr. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Mesiverno. She doesn't care about the land. She cares about its people. Emerald Stair's on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Speaking from experience, people don't usually unite as one after you've attacked their home.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Ah, now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an adherent, I trust you know how to handle it by the book.
Violence is the language of the Steel Garrote. Nothing less will get through to them.
I say throw back the little ones if they're not in a position to do more harm. Besides, he's probably more scared of what'll happen if you don't kill him.
Your call, envoy. I will see to it myself. Too bad the road to Paradise is in bad shape. Our wagon might hit a bump or two.
As much as I want to rip his soul apart, maybe he's more useful to us alive.
But you can't send me back to Ludwig. Don't you know what she does to people who fail her?
I can't wait to find out. See you around, envoy. Thanks again.
A fate worse than death, perhaps. But fate nonetheless.
Good.
At least the city is standing.
did right by us. Thank you, Envoy.
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the steel garrote before they could cause any serious damage. I can't imagine what it cost you to stand up to the likes of the steel garrote, but we won't forget it.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
I don't think she knows the meaning of the word. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the Living Lands.
We avoided disaster by the skin of our teeth. The Steel Garrote deserve no compassion, no forgiveness.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch, and I wasn't strong enough to bear it. Not for me, perhaps. You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as our lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giata.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
You truly think you can find a god? I said I'd keep an open mind, but this is a bit much.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now, what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise.
And I want an explanation.
As long as we are Animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under Adiran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrote's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as Animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the Republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Naku Kubel, which is in Shatterscarp, so we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrote knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. Gods, I love that tiny woman. Naturally. She's feisty, passionate, loyal, determined. My life would not be the same without her.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend, and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, Envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.
Ilmes Mito. Luthen.
Come on! Come on!
Worth and Roth. Worth and Roth.
I was worried for a second.
Watch for spiders.
Fragment of the very stars. Perhaps one of the blacksmiths could make use of it.
Another glorious battle.
Coming in hot.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the living lands is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far. And in my case, it's inevitable. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. I doubt they know the meaning of the word. They seem a little out of touch. Listen to me. A failed animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal, I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? I wish I could. But that legacy is a debt I can never pay off. My parents died pursuing a better future for animancers. I can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. And right now, that's all it is. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. What are you so curious about? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. You saved Fiorme Siverno from a terrible fate. That makes you a hero in our eyes. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. Anytime. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. Not before I've done some reading.
I hope you're ready to sleep with one eye open, because I doubt Ludwig sleeps at all. And after the send-off you gave the Steel Garrote squad in that cave, she'll have it out for you. Yeah, get lost or get skewered. I thought they were supposed to be working with the Adiran forces, not setting up secret encampments and chasing you away. If that's the case, I'd wager she's the one holding the leash, and he's the one on his knees. Normally, I'm not big on turning on your own, but the Steel Garrote take their beliefs too far. I'm glad you didn't let them do it here. Don't let it go to your head. Your kind of clarity is rare. To know in the moment what you've got to do and do it, I envy that.
Kai's always doing things to help others, no matter the cost. It's going to get him killed one day.
You two are gonna make me blush, and purple's not my best color. But, thanks. Just be on the lookout. The Steel Garrote isn't likely to forgive and forget. Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Despite what we've been able to learn from it here.
Animancy is many things to many people. A tool, a philosophy, a lens to see the world from a different angle. But it isn't for everyone.
Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away. No offense.
You have your point of view, and I have mine.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Don't get me wrong, most animancers are nice enough people. But even nice people get strange ideas from time to time. So did my commanding officers. I'm well past seconds myself, if we're counting. Even decent people make mistakes, and the rest of us can grow, with a little time and grace. If I had to list them all, we'd be talking all night. Anyway, if this place can't give us misfits and screw-ups a second chance, what hope do we have? What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales? Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Almost as much as Marius's more far-flung brethren outside the living lands.
Right. Sounds like Pargrun and elsewhere know better than to stay cooped up in a keep somewhere.
Rauatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere, or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary. Then you must have come during our sunny season. Lashed by storms and battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are. We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rauatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere. You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make Rauatai a difficult place to live have shaped our people and our kingdom. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rauatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Aora. It's been hard-won across a variety of conquests, cooperatives, and trading colonies. Some of the traditionalists worry that prosperity is making us as complacent and soft-handed as our rivals. Same as traditionalists everywhere. Me, I prefer the simplicity of the living lands. Kill the thing that's trying to kill you, and hope it has some edible meat on it. By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another. Yeah, I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you. You know where to find me when you're ready. I still can't believe at least she got what was coming to her. Well, yeah. But there are some lines you don't cross. Turning on your own people is one of them. You'd think that'd be an easy position to hold. But I've seen better soldiers than Dorso cross lines you can't come back from. I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, you're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast. I'm less worried about who has a claim to the living lands than what Adir might ask of you. Same as Rauatai asked of us. Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with. Yeah, I've watched your form. Have you decided what you want to work on? Some of that is sheer stubbornness. But I can give you some pointers on your stance, too. That's it. You got the hang of it. I look forward to seeing what you can do when we get back out there tomorrow. In the meantime, get some rest.
I knew the Steel Garrote were up to no good.
No one ever plans anything nice in a hidden war camp, do they?
Envoy, it's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. Just not sure you did the right thing. These people won't survive long in a place like Thirdborn. That they are. I'm honestly surprised they survived out here this long. Who knows? Labs and machines, yeah, aren't my area of expertise. Maybe they're easier to build than I think. Right, changing the subject. Ask away. Yes, I did. And the less we talk about that, the better. Thank you. Not everyone accepts that some things are best left in the past. Well, I'm one of the very few people who spends most of their time out in the wilds and haven't gotten themselves killed yet. I know the difference between hay-bleed toxin and high-tox bloom, which is something you should be really thankful for. And you know the Ballarok and the Grinning Ballarok? No, but I am one of the few who have seen a Ballarok and lived. Mostly because I had the brains to run the Dragu out of there. The key is survival. I understand that, and a lot of people don't. And that's why they're dead, and I'm still here. We're gonna get you where you're going, Envoy. Alive and with as few blithe tail bites as possible. That, more or less, is all you need to know about me. Oh, you noticed. I don't know. I've heard stories all my life about the gods and magic, and they never seem to do any good for anyone. I'm sure they do. You know better, though, I'd wager. It's just Pargrunan wilderness lore, developed over the centuries in Solace. Tricks, traps, gadgets, nothing more. But hey, if people want to think it's magic, then go ahead. I'm not gonna bend over backward just to seem internally consistent. Almost all of them. Andra pulling down the moon to destroy civilization, the Godhammer bomb, all that stuff down in the Deadfire. No one as fickle as those gods seem to be should ever be put in charge of reincarnation, I tell you that. Right. More trouble than they're worth, if you ask me. I'm sure they do. You know better, though, I'd wager. It's just Pargrunan wilderness lore, developed over the centuries in Solace. Tricks, traps, gadgets, nothing more. But hey, if people want to think it's magic, then go ahead. I'm not gonna bend over backward just to seem internally consistent. Well, you asked, I answered. Feel free to cast all the spells and cry out to whatever gods you like. I won't stop you. Just don't expect me to join in. Same one you are. What kind of blessed question is that? Oh, huh, I see. I sometimes use Lember without really thinking about it. That's what you mean, right? Right. I hear Pargrunan all over the world speak it. I only know what I learned in Solace. I barely realize I'm doing it anymore. If you want to learn Lember, you'll have to spend time in Solace. And that's not going to happen anytime blessed soon. Ah, right. Something like that. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we travel. It's not that blessed difficult. Right, changing the subject. Oh, good. Let's have it. When I was a child in Solace, a warden named Alinka taught me the basics. What berries to eat, how to build a shelter, and so on. Later, I started going out on patrols, just to get experience in the wilds. By the time I was 15, I was going out on my own. No, she died on patrol in the Ash Forest several years back. By then, we already hadn't been speaking for years. We had a falling out over me sneaking out of the keep a few times when I was 17. Well, the few times she knew about. Turns out I was just good at surviving on my own. So I kept doing it, and I kept getting better at it. Right, changing the subject. Because it's not that interesting, really, and knowing about it won't keep you alive, and I don't like talking about it. So why pry? Wouldn't you rather your wilderness guide be happy and unburdened by thoughts of his past? Ha! Not without a sharp blade or a barrel of Wodak, you won't. Anyway, what do you need? Fine. You've been patient enough, I suppose. Right. Solace isn't an easy place to live. The food is stale and meager. The water tastes like steel and old meat. Everyone knows everyone else. No privacy, no silence, no time to yourself. Solace is a walled keep in the harshest region of the lands. Isolated is an understatement. Honestly, all that was fine. But there was a peculiar kind of silence I didn't love. Huh, you should be a sharpshooter. You keep hitting the target. I have only the faintest memories of my parents, which was fine. I had friends and mentors and trainers and elders. When I asked about my real parents, though, they just told me I was safe now, and that the wardens were my family. I never knew if my parents were alive or dead. I like to assume that they had died fighting some giant monster in the Tusks, but no one would say. When I asked for more, they changed the subject, like I wasn't worthy of a backstory. I mean, I know the important part. I'm from Solace, for whatever that's worth. My oldest memories are of Solace. My oldest friend is from there. Maybe, maybe not. I've learned to stop worrying about it. Pleasant dreams.
I hope that... Thirdborn is a good community for my people. They've been through a lot.
Thirdborn's rough around the edges, but it's full of good people.
I've been meaning to tell you something. Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets animancers, and everyone gets along. For once. We should try to harness that goodwill, or replicate it, like an energy source. On the other hand, maybe not. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. In that case, let's go out there and make a good first impression. If you need anything, you know where to find me. What do you want to know? I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fjore's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. Anything's possible, but there are significant problems to overcome. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. Don't worry. I've lived with it for a while now. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Anytime. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Well, my future is in shambles, and I have no idea what to do next. Oh, and my home is under attack by the acolytes of an insane witch god. Apart from that, fine. Truthfully, I'm a bit lost. Leaving Fior Messiverno was supposed to be liberating. We've seen and done incredible things, but I'm no closer to finishing my family's work. What I'm up against is much bigger than either of us. Through animancy, I can harness the wild essence of the living lands and put it to good use. But what if I tried, only to have it lash out and destroy me? I'd be no better off than my parents. The Dream Scourge is infecting our Adra, holding back my work. Until I understand it, until I can control it, I can't do anything. I'm useless. I'm... nothing. Of course. I've heard that one before. Quilici always told me to slow down, to stop and appreciate the land I'm trying so hard to fix. But how can I slow down when I only have one lifetime to get this right? I'll find answers in the garden. For better or worse. Thanks for talking.